Hello, Legionaries, and welcome to the Command Tent podcast. I'm your host today, Lander, and I'm joined as ever by Ian. And today's special guest is our good friend and partner stroke sponsor of the show, Tom Carley, joining us today in his capacity as the vice captain of Team England. Welcome,
Thank you for
Tom.
having me on. Thank you for having me on, guys, and good evening to you both.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, let's jump into the proceedings of things with what have we been up to recently. Now, out of the list of topics that we've got to discuss in this area, Ian has the most delicious, I think. What have you been up to this last fortnight, Ian?
Yeah, we'll talk about the two at the bottom, I think, first. I've been getting into doing a bit of baking. My wife used to own a cafe, but because of the current climate, that's now gone to the wayside. But she's doing online food, like bakery deliveries and stuff. And we did a show up where we live, so that's some babka and some cinnamon buns that I make. Filled with my loving culture of yeast that I refer to as Steve. But yeah, it's a nice way of doing something with your hands that isn't necessarily just painting. Because last time with Alessio, he was talking about his golf and his board games, and it made us realise that all we were putting up is photos of miniatures that we painted. So yeah, bit of baking that was really nice, and then I've been rebasing my orcs along with painting some Cathay for a future project. The orcs is because of the new edition, so getting them on the right size base is nice, and it has allowed me to update some of the models, which is quite nice. And the Cathay is an excuse to try out these things, which are the Army Painter speed paint markers. Not a sponsor, but
Well, they're good.
if they want to sling some money my way, I absolutely would take more of these because they are absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm rattling through a full
It's also a little bit for the new launch box for Old World, isn't it? A tiny bit.
Exactly, yeah. So that's going to be a full 1,500 point army painted in about a month, with around a full-time job, which kind of shows they are speedy, which is really cool.
And they're wicked for more advanced stuff as well. So two things I want to comment on yours.
Mhm.
First thing, speed paint. Use them for like chipping and stuff. The metal ones, they're amazing. Like you go and put a bit of brown round, bit of silver, wicked. You just look like you spent 10 hours like a golden demon painter.
Yeah.
The other one, I was a pastry chef for 17 years, and it's a known fact if you don't name your starter dough, they will die.
Yeah.
We have Reese going for 14 years, bless him.
Well, Steve's only been going for 2, but he's doing me proud now. He's come to that nice stage of predictability where I know normally how he's going to be, so that's good. But some nice deliciousness.
Awesome. Now I'm going to hand over to you, Tom, because you've got a lot of stuff you allegedly can't tell us about.
So I imagine most of your viewers on this channel are Old World fans, and we had the very, very long-awaited FAQ dropped. About what is it, about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 now, something like that.
It was on the day that we did Alessio's interview, so that's 2 weeks ago today.
So in those 2 weeks, the day it came out, I spent about 8-9 hours going through it. And then it's readdressing lists, organising the team, because as I say, I'm the vice captain of Team England, so Old World Team England, and then it's getting 2 separate teams ready for 2 separate Super Major events coming up in the next. One's on next weekend, which is Home Nations.
Yeah.
And then one's at the end of September, which is the World Team Championships. So it's been devising training plans, strategies, getting everyone up to date as fast as possible, and getting those. Well, it's 8 players per team, but it works out as 14 players in total because there's a little bit of crossover. Getting them all ready. So it's been lots and lots of meetings at the moment, but fun meetings.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, no, I'm going to hold those questions until we get onto the. Oh, why do you do this, computer? I don't need to know that WhatsApp is sending me messages. Sorry, everyone at home, that error sound is not you. It is my computer telling me that although I have closed WhatsApp, I have WhatsApp messages. So, anyway, apologies to everyone at home who's hearing the badudungs. Yeah, we'll leave the conversation around what have you been doing as part of Team England for when we get on to that section there. I guess for now, I'll bore you all with my bit of hobby, where I realised a little bit that I currently live in a situation where trying to launch a YouTube channel off the ground, Warhammer is my excuse for a personality. Well, not Warhammer, War Games, I should say. I suppose, up here I've got my Star Wars Legion, I've got my Conflict 47. So it's not just Warhammer. I do have 2 other personalities as well, all in this head. But this weekend we're hosting over at our local game store, Dragon Cavern. We're hosting a Welcome to 11th Edition local casual competitive tournament for 40k. So I have dug out my Necrons for the first time since 9th edition, and we'll be giving them a play. And then the rest of it has been me panicking because I put off building a piece of terrain for the Black Tower of Archon for the video that will come out this Saturday, and just managed to get it finished in time in a state that I would say I am 73% happy with.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I think you're being a bit mean to yourself, because
I am.
It passes the 2-foot test easily.
I think it does from everyone else's point of view. It's from my point of view, it doesn't. I'm
By
like,
the time you get to 720p for those shots, you'll be fine, mate.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
problem.
Wait, you guys are running on 720? I thought it was 240. 144?
There we go. Single pixel. Single.
Yeah. just a slab of colour in the middle of the screen. And lovely 2 black borders down the side because the pixel must be square.
It's kind of a purplish orange.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan is currently pressing out to see how much he can fit on a screen. I'm interested in how little.
Oh, all that, 2 days ago was my first IMAX film ever. I went to go see it at the Birmingham NEC one. Firstly, nicest cinema I've ever been to, hands down.
Yeah.
So if you're in Brum and you're umming and ahhing about it, it's amazing. I drove an hour from Leicester to go. And holy crap, IMAX.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that.
I will come in on the opposite angle. I went to the Sheffield IMAX Cineworld and had to leave about 25 minutes into the start of the Odyssey because both my wife and I were horrendously motion sick.
From doing this.
And the small amount and the music balance.
It's very loud.
It's very loud. I was diagnosed by the NHS as being a physicist, which means you've got the autistic traits, but you're not autistic.
Yeah.
But it was enough that I was starting to get really in my own head about it. So
I am autistic, and this was okay. It was like they found the level of, this is where sound is uncomfortable. We're going to go there. We're going to keep it there for the entire film.
I think as well, the way the IMAX cinemas are designed, it probably plays with the acoustics a bit more because...
Yeah, it's like a round ceiling on it, and you're in an arc seating as opposed to ranks going forward.
In a traditional cinema, it probably is worse, purely just because of the...
I felt it in my ribs, when you get a really deep, heavy bass and you can feel it in your body. I felt like that, and that threw me.
Big addendum, Cyclops bit, that genuinely shook my rectum. That was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying, that bit was. And I don't know if it was the cinema, I don't know if it was me, but I have never been that viscerally scared by anything in my life.
Okay.
So, go watch it.
Well, clearly I've missed out. I'm going to wait for it to come out on something I can watch at home, because it was a very unpleasant experience for us when we were there for the 20 minutes we were there for, and we left our friends who apparently left about an hour after we did because of the same sort of issue. So be warned. It doesn't seem to be getting reported on, but it
is loud.
Yeah. Anyway, the only other thing I've been doing is I've been spending more time with my dog because we've entered into the holiday season, which means that I don't have to get up in the morning anyway, in the regular morning, but now I'm staying up later than I should because I've only got a few hours of actual work as tutor each week, so I'm taking it more easy. And I can slack off a little bit more and do work at unsociable hours for this channel more readily than I can for tutoring. So, been hanging out in the mornings, cuddling the dog, and it's all been good.
Yeah.
Life.
So, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today. Tom, we've got a couple of questions we're going to chat to you about, and these are just going to guide our conversation, really, about what goes into running a national team. Now, when I spoke with Rich in our first podcast, I said to him, how do these guys make a national? How do these guys make a team? Like, how do you become part of a team sport for Warhammer? And he talked to us a little bit about the idea of a team format. About, you know, you got like 5 guys you go up against another 5 guys, and you sort of pair off as effectively as you possibly can in a sort of hedging your bets kind of interaction.
It's like a little poker game that happened
Yeah.
before the war. Yeah.
So he talked us through like what goes on there, and then I had the very important question: how do you decide that you're now Team England? Presumably,
That's the crucial bit. We don't. That's the really crucial bit. So there are a lot of other countries out there who will just go, I'm captain now. And then they'll put out a call or whatever. So we didn't want to do that. And when I say we, got myself and we got Richie Ampler. He runs a YouTube channel as well. It's on hiatus right now because it's moving house, but Derry After Dark. Go check it out. Lovely bloke. So Old World launched in January 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. And me and Richie immediately latched onto it because we were part of a really healthy 6th edition Warhammer Fantasy Battle scene that was stretched across the Midlands over to Wales called Resurrection, run by a great guy called Alexander Storch. It's still kind of going now, but as you can imagine, a lot's drifted over. And that was a really, really healthy scene. And we'd heard, and I was never part of 8th edition, Richie was, and during the end times, and we'd heard that the Team England from back then was very closed doors, very boys club. And the other versions of Team England across Warhammer Age Sigmar and 40k have also been, and Bolt Action as well, and all the other games. It's not just GW games. They tend to get a bit closed doors. And and they just became these group of 8 to 12 guys who, oh, yeah, they're Team England. We don't care about them. We can never be part of them. There's nothing bridging the gap between us and them. We don't even play the same game as them. So we didn't want that. We wanted there to be a Team England, but no one had really spoken much about it. And Richie had got a lot of experience with international play because at his local club in Hereford, it being very close to the Welsh border, had a ton of Team Wales players playing there regularly. So he was very well versed with it, and he practiced with them in Age of Sigmar alone. So Old World's come out. It's about 3 months in. We start seeing teams events going up, and that was at the TSN venue in Nottingham, run by Rob, another great bloke. And so we go to that, we come out of it, and we run a team of 4, and we get 2nd place. And it's my first team event. I turn around to Richie and I go, I would like more of that, please. How do we arrange more of that, please? Because I don't know if either of you have ever played teams wargaming at all. It's totally different.
No, we're looking at setting up a little team to be the Legions of Miniatures team so that we can go to a couple of these and try them out. We've got the number of players for it.
Like 4 is the normal for like smaller events, a 4-man team.
Okay.
You know? But the key thing, if you go to a singles event and you score 0 to 5 points, you're coming out of that game with your head hung a bit low. Even if you're not a competitive sort, you're still lost. It doesn't feel good, you know? Even if you were expecting, I'm only going to score 2 points and I score 5, you're probably not going to have the best time. Teams are totally different. If I'm your team captain and you say to me, Tom, I'm going to score 2 points into that Chaos Army, it's going to wreck me. And you come out scoring 5, you're a champion. You just lifted the whole team by 3 points. What a phenomenal thing. That guy who scored 20 still scored 20. He didn't give us any bonuses. He did what he was supposed to do. You went up 3. You may have lost, I don't care, but it was an improvement. And just that's one of so many facets of it. But it's that togetherness. If it's not you, it's us. And I think whenever you're doing anything in life, it's so much better to be a part of a we than a me.
Okay.
You know, and it's just one of those. So we did this teams event. Richie, I want more of this. Okay, there's no Team England right now. Okay, why isn't there one? No one started it. No one's tried. Why aren't we doing it? There's no WTC yet. Okay, fine. Let's just do it and see what happens. So we just did it, me and Richie. We weren't calling ourselves captains or anything like that. We were just organising it. We got a lot of help from a guy called Alex as well. He's now our manager for Team England. But so we just wanted to get the ball rolling. We just wanted to find out who would be interested in doing it because there are a few major factors that goes into being a team's player. Firstly, you've got to love the game to a ridiculous level because it becomes a huge part of your life. Secondly, you have to have more time than the average person does on a given day because most people work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, come home, spend time with family, do some hobbies, and the day's gone.
Yeah.
I need you to fit a game in there every day, most days, or at least time to talk, and so that's a demand. And then also, it ain't cheap going around the world playing Warhammer. It's, the time or money. Like, it costs roughly £1,000 to go to WTC, all said and done, but then go on a week holiday and tell me it spends less than £1,000.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be in Spain for a week. That's just how much that costs. So you need those things. So it wasn't just about trying to find the best players. It's trying to find people who fit all those boxes.
Yeah.
Now, I'm self-employed. Richie's self-employed. We were doing quite well, so we naturally slotted into those boxes anyway.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find like-minded people. We got through a bit of the process and we went, hang on a minute, we're accidentally boys clubbing this. We've put ourselves at the top here. We've not asked anyone whatsoever. So we dialed it all the way back. Set up a Team England Discord. Richie had quite a big YouTube, still does have quite a big YouTube reach. And he's known very well in the community as well. If you've met Richie once, he sticks in your head because he's got a tattoo of an axe on his face.
Yes.
You don't forget him very quickly, So he put out the call and said, look, we're doing Team England. People join this Discord, and it's quite a strong Discord still now. And we're going to be putting, firstly, we're going to select a captain. So the way we do that is, if you are interested in being a captain, put a little spiel together, like a cover letter, saying why, and then we're going to put that in the Discord, and people are going to vote on it. Winner gets the captaincy. Richie landslided it. It was like a 98% in his favour or something across 3 candidates. So it was very much the community wants you. And then Richie said, okay, the way I'm going to do this, because he's the captain, so he's going to, there was no framework. So he said, this is my new framework. I'm going to do the exact same thing that we did for captain. I'm going to do it for vice captain, but we're not going to make it a public vote. I'm going to decide as captain. So that's where I came in. And for team management, we did a public one as well. And that's when Alex came in. So we were all peer voted in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the key thing around it, is we wanted it to be peer voted. We didn't want to just be like, oh, I got here first, so I get to do it now. Like, absolutely not the right way of doing things. And myself and Richie going into it said, we're management here. That doesn't make us players by right. If there are 8 better players, rock on. We're here to get them there. If we so happen to become players as well, all the better for it. So then we got formed around October of the year of Old World release. By December, we had got Richie voted as captain and myself as vice captain. And then it's putting out the clarion call. We need 8 players. We got 14 applications through. And out of that 14, we got, I think it was 10 workable ones. So then we got subs out of that as well, coaches out of that as well. And we had a nice little tight pack of a team for that first year. Through a couple of things, we had one person change from being a player to a coach.
Yeah.
And we had one person changing from being a sub to a player. So there was a lot of shift throughout the years and kept it nice and fluid. And then the way which me and Richie, or Richie and myself, maintained those roles is we proved what we were saying. We went to Germany last year after putting in, I mean, me personally, I put in 127 cafe games from release to September. In I think it was 15 weeks. So that shows the level that we're working at there. Then we won. Then Richie got voted back in. I got voted back in, and Alex got voted back in, and we started it all again.
So is it an annual vote then?
Yeah, annual vote. As soon as that last dice is rolled in WTC, as soon as the people are like, you're back on your plane, you're out of the team. That's it. We give a 1-week grace period. So you're still in the chats and stuff like that. So, you can get anything that you need from the chats and all of this stuff. But then we will keep the WhatsApp going, because it's a nice thing to have, but we'll make a new one every year.
Yeah.
And then whoever is a legacy player will keep all of those taglines on anything, but then they'll get removed from the private side of the Discord server. And then a new set gets voted in every year. And then we've also got the chair and the vice chair who keep us all in line. Rich Manclow, who you had on, is to make sure that none of us end up in prison. That's what he said. And to make sure that we're fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean that's quite interesting. So you really want more people in that Discord to make sure that it's as fair as. So what we'll do then is we'll put a link to that Discord down in the description below, and I'll come along and see what's going on.
Yeah, please do, because
you know,
what this is, we don't want it to be a popularity contest. And Richie is aware of this himself, and I'm aware of it myself because I've been in a lot of his videos. I run the company, so there are reasons there are reasons why people might want to vote me into keeping my so-called good books.
Yeah.
That's not how we want to run this. If you think I've done a crap job this year as vice captain, don't vote for me or vote against me. You know, if you think Richie's done a crap job, or even better, if you think you can do a better one, come on down. It's a horrific job.
Do you take?
It's
I feel that. I feel that.
Maybe the people who can sympathise the most being teachers. Either of you primary school?
No,
I
do secondary, but yeah, I've got aspirations of management, and I'm doing some of that next year, and I already know, anything where you're trying to organise. I was going to say adults, but professionals are even worse. Into anything cohesive.
You have to respect all their opinions because they all know what they're on about and they're all experts in their field. Yeah. You can't just be like, "Shut up, Charlie," because he knows what he's on about.
No, I can imagine. I can definitely imagine this.
Yeah.
It's clear from what you're saying, though, even though you're saying it's a hard job, you clearly are very passionate about it, and you can feel that love coming from it.
Yeah, it's dedication of an nth degree. I mean, I was a chef, like a fine dining chef, for 16 years. I was a chef in total 17. Like I worked at Michelin venues and stuff, and I put more of my soul into this than I ever did into any food. I'd like to think I put all of myself into that. Just take today, for example. I did an hour and a half doing theory crafting, then did a practice game for someone for 3 hours. I'll do another bit of theory crafting to this game finishes, and then I'll set up the packs for the team for the next year. And I love doing all of it. I don't mind. If you asked me to get on a work meeting at 8 o'clock at night, I would tell you to do one. But if I've got to jump on a team meeting at 9 o'clock at night for 3 hours, cool, wicked.
Yeah,
you know, love it. It's awesome.
So help us out then. My gut feeling when I go into looking at a game and I'm going to play a game of Oddworld, and it's like, okay, let's sit down and work out what we're going to do. I look at a unit and I'm like, let's go with like Dwarf Slayers, right? A sort of a known to be poor unit, whether that's true or not. I'm looking at maybe running a Dwarf Slayer army in a 750 point battle march one-day event.
Cool.
Because I think that they might have that edge, like no armor but toughness 4 and a moderate number of them. I mean, they're still dwarves. Maybe I can do something cheesy there. But obviously they've just had that change. They've just got this Furious Charge. So when we're looking at them, like, how are you going to weight different stats? Like, what's the process of like taking a unit and breaking it apart?
Yeah, no, really good answer. So I think there's one thing I want to touch on before we even get to the unit stat line, and Slayers actually form a part of this metaphor for me. And I was taught this in 6th edition. I was taught this as an 11-year-old boy in Games Workshop on this is how to play Warhammer ethically and morality, from a morality angle. Let's say you, Lander, are a Dwarf player, and I am a Chaos player. Okay? There we go. There we go. So, you, as a Dwarf player, you have a cannon, all right? And you have a Demon Slayer, a Dragon Slayer. That Dragon Slayer is on 1 wound. I have a Chaos Dragon. It is also on 1 wound. You know that you should probably just shoot the cannon at it. It's a safer choice.
Yep.
Less bad things are going to happen. But you know you should charge the Dragon Slayer.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is the crucial split between wargamers and competitive wargamers. Competitive wargamers never consider the Dragon Slayer. And that's not to say that we're playing it wrong. We're playing it differently because I can switch. It's a switch I can flick.
Yeah.
You know, I could rock on down to a narrative event with you guys and with a fluffy army, and I could play it in a high skilled but fluffy way. You know, it's much harder to switch that off and just to not play the story anymore. You know, and it does. You are playing more chess. And it is a skill game at that point, and it is treated as such. So then when we look at the miniatures and the stat lines and stuff like that, It's all a balancing act. The whole thing is. So you're looking at points efficiency. How much is this going to cause damage to my enemy per point within the list? How much damage is this going to stop to my enemy per point? So a really good example of this is in Beastman.
Mhm.
You have Gore, which are 7 points a model.
Yep.
They just got the Furious Charge upgrade, yada, yada, yada. They're great. They're amazing.
Mhm.
Then you have Vestigore at effectively 14 points per model. They're getting a pip of weapon skill, pip of strength, a pip of leadership, and some heavy armor. All of these are valid buffs.
Do they also get toughness?
No, they're both toughness 4.
Okay.
Do I think 2 Gore are going to beat a Vestigore? Yeah, every time.
Hmm.
Every single time. And that's where the efficiency comes in. So you start comparing units against each other.
Right.
Am I spending my points in the most efficient manner? And that sometimes means not maximizing things how you would normally do it.
Sure.
And this is where teams and singles differ.
Hmm.
So in singles, you are looking to take a high risk army that scores big all the time. Anything less than an 18, you aren't winning the event. You're just not.
Yeah.
If you don't score big every round. I don't need to do that in teams. I don't want to do that in teams. I don't want to have a list that can score 18-2 and 2-18 at the exact same time. I want nice and stable.
Just going to go for a quick little definition drop in. You've been talking about scoring 2 and scoring 18 and scoring 20. This is a 0 to 20 scoring metric, with 10 being a draw, and then
Yeah, so
each player in the game gets some points.
I have no idea how 40k is scored whatsoever.
Hmm.
But in Old World, yeah, 0 to 20, 0 being a loss, 20 being the highest, and it's a differential based scoring system.
Right.
So if we're both rocking up with 2,000 point armies plus the objectives on the battlefield, it will be whatever points you score minus whatever points I score, give us that differential, and that's the score.
Yeah.
So it's usually like a 200 point differential would be like an 11-9, and like a 2,000 point differential would be like a 20-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of thing.
Cool.
It was the way that Warhammer the Old World started doing things. They moved it to this 0 to 6 system, which I think is phenomenal for club play, really good for campaign play,
Yep.
awful for competitive play. It's terrible, because what it means is you have a top bracket, you have a middle bracket, you have a bottom bracket, and no one can move out of them. It's just not good at all. But that's brilliant for campaign play, because you get that grinding force that's unstoppable that keeps pushing across. It really gives you that feel to it. So that's why I love it in that way. It's why I love Warhammer, because you can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can play the super sweaty game, or you can play the narrative game. And I think there's something I stole from Dungeons and Dragons, because I'm a huge D&D and tabletop RPG fan. Rule 0. Have a little conversation, or session 0 in D&D.
Yeah.
Have a 10-second conversation. What do you want out of this game? You know, and we do it at the competitive level in practices.
Yeah.
What do you want out of this? Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? Do you want me to do something you've never seen before? And I think it's just in any game that you play, it's important to have that conversation so that we're on the same level.
Yeah, no, I think that's something that I've noticed. Yeah, I was going to say it's something that we do, isn't it? Because I'm playing you tomorrow for a practice game for your tournament, and we just had endless conversations of, right, where do you want the army to be pitched? Do you want me to do this, or do you want me to do this? Who do you want me to play? And it's
setting
I've never really thought about it. I've never really thought about it as being a good thing to do. It's just
it's just what we do, isn't it?
Turning up. Yeah, I don't like turning up with a list and accidentally stomping someone. It makes me feel bad. Outside a tournament, like if it's a tournament, things are off the
tournament. The conversation's already been had by premise of you buying the ticket. You are aware of what kind of event you're going to, because they have the pack.
Yeah, of course,
You
know. But yeah,
it's really interesting though, because every guest we've had on so far has talked about this idea of the pre-established or pre-implied expectations of a game, and I think that could be a really interesting thing to explore in more detail in an opportunity where we've got much more time than we perhaps do today, although we have blasted through the first 30 minutes.
I want to touch on this one because I have a big strong feeling about this. The best and worst thing that ever happened to wargaming was the gentleman's contract. It means goddamn nothing and everything at the same time. By bringing that concept into it, we are gentlemanly wargamers and we will fight in a gentlemanly manner, and this is pre-assumed in any wargaming. Why is it pre-assumed?
Yeah.
why should that be pre-assumed under any premise whatsoever? So it's so good that that exists and it's this standard to work to. But the damaging thing is that it's supposed to be pre-assumed. And what I consider as gentlemanly is not what you consider as gentlemanly. Either of you, all three of us have got differing opinions on it. You know, you might think turning up to 300 goblins and 20 fanatics is really cool because that's what it looks like. I'm going to look at that and go, I'm going to the pub.
Yeah,
I'm not playing that.
Yeah. I mean,
I do agree with you. I think it's something that should be fluid. You have these conversations with people on the tabletop all the time. I've done a game where I was playing against a pair in a doubles tournament where they were doing a press up for every one they rolled and raising money for the charity, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll get in on that." And we had a whale of a time, but we were all a bit sweaty by the end of it.
Yeah. Again, it's setting the expectations of things, and I think it's just with teams play, we get this label on us that we are the bogey. We are everything that is wrong with any given wargaming system. Oh, the competitive players broke it. I've been on YouTube a lot talking about high-end lists. You can go on a few different channels talking about it. And if you only see the thumbnail and you only read the description and just go, oh, there's Tom's list. Oh, what a wanker. He's doing this and that. Oh, he's doing this, Jank. Then you watch the video and you will hear me say, if you do this at club, you're not my friend anymore. If you do this at a tournament, check with the TO. Only then do this, and also let your opponent know what you're about to be doing.
Yeah.
Because then it's fair game. If you turn up to a tournament going, I'm going to get you. No. You are not a human Van Horseman speculum. No. You do not just get to pull the switcheroo on people.
When we spoke with Alessio Cavatora last week, he came from the uber competitive Warhammer 40k arena, and that's why he was sort of picked up by Games Workshop, he told us. But he's also told us that as he's gotten older, his philosophy behind how a war game should be made has drifted away from, we have to try and get as much balance as possible, to somewhere in between balanced and storytelling. He says storytelling should go towards tabletop role-playing games, uber balance should go towards board games, like full in-box board games, and war games should be something in the middle that's quite balanced. It's still a competition. It's not 100% collaborative like a role-playing game is, but it's in that mid-ground. I would like to ask you a little bit, as somebody who is clearly very big into the competitive scene and very much enjoys the competitive scene, would you prefer that Old World move towards trying to design rules for the competitive scene, retain its current position, which I think it's occupying fairly well, of a little bit goofy, a little bit narrative, with some things which come skew and break very easily? But generally, if you go in with the air quotes gentleman's agreement of, I mean, maybe you can comment on this. I feel like if you take a unit of regular infantry and you run it at 25 dudes, it'll behave in the rules as they think it should behave. And if you take a unit of cavalry, heavy cavalry, and you don't go above 10 dudes, it will behave as the rules think it should behave. It's when you go beyond that and really stress it that it starts to crumble and fall apart a bit, perhaps.
I mean, I can break the game with one model.
Yeah.
I don't need 10. I don't need 100. I can just use one. It's intent. It's all intent.
Okay.
If I start a game going, I'm going to push this to its utter physical boundary, I can and I will, and it's not hard.
Okay.
It doesn't matter about the size of the unit. It's the size of the malice behind the person using the army.
Right.
You can do with anything. You know, we could be playing a game of chess together, and I'll swap the pieces around to make my. You know, that's an extreme example of it, but it is. It's the same thing.
What I was trying to gun towards there is, I think, if you play it in the way that the game designers intended, it seems to work relatively well.
That's such a hard thing, though. So just want to the original part of the question: would I play it if it was hyper balanced? That exists. It's called Warhammer Army Projects. It's a great game in and of itself, but it is boundless homogeneity. Every army acts basically the same as every other army, and every army has got between 48 and 52% win rate in that.
Okay.
It's wonderfully balanced. It is the perfect tournament game. Soulless as fuck. It is chess with extra figures, and that is not belittling it. That is, I think, a massive compliment that they have managed to get to the level of chess balance across, I think it's like 29 armies.
Yeah.
They've gone massive with it. Like, you can get Nippon, Amazons, everything's in there. So, and they do a really, really good job of it. I don't play that game because it's not the current one. I think I was drifting towards it before Old World came out because 6th edition, whilst I love it, you can break that game really quickly.
Yeah.
Really, really. You just use undead. It happens.
Welcome to Old World.
Cathay. Cathay, I saw your cannons, sir. Yeah. So it's one of those where if you wanted to play that utterly homogenous game, it exists. I wanted to play Old World because I wanted to play fantasy as a current game.
Okay.
Simple as that. And it's not perfect. It's far from. I've played through the utter dark times. The last 9 months have not been good in the game whatsoever. They've been terrible. Since Cathay came out, they've just dominated everything. It reminds me of being 14 years old and getting Call of Duty Modern Warfare and being spawn camped by a guy with a grenade launcher, just going, and it feels that way. Like it's been in a bad way. It's coming out of it now. They've clearly got a new rules writers on and clearly expanded their staff team. Rules as intended is such a hard concept because I feel like it needs history to back it up.
Yeah.
We knew what rules as intended was for 8th edition fantasy. You know what it is for 11th edition 40k. You know what it is for Blood Bowl because you can look back at all the previous editions. You can go, oh, well, the FAQ from 10th that did this, it was just a bit of wording that was weird. So clearly they've just made the same mistake here. Let's not have that play and do 7d6 worth of wounds because they've got the comma.
Yeah.
Old World doesn't have that. There is no history. None of the game's designers were around. If Alessio was writing it or Chiomas was writing it, then there would be, because you could go back and you go, oh, that's Chiomas's or that's Alessio's writing style. And we got used to Alessio's writing style over the years. JTY, I've never read his stuff before. I'm sure he's produced games, but I've never read that. I don't know the intention behind it. So it's so difficult to see, especially when they were trying to dance the line between narrative and concise rulings.
Yeah, I suppose one only needs to look at the first 2 FAQs that we had and the heinously different tone between the 2 of them to have that it becomes very challenging then to try and work out the intent. I mean, I know that generally speaking, most of the things that I've tried to say, no, I think the intent was this, I've been wrong on. I was in the camp of if you can't stomp someone because you're not base-to-base contact, then you can't do 2 attacks into them either. And that's
I thought that too.
Yeah.
I thought that too. But this is what I mean. So we don't know the intention. You have, and it's not even like there's a clear divide on a lot of these things. Like this regen thing is the one that's currently going around.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the intent has ever been more clear on anything before, but we don't have the history to back it up.
Well, I think the big problem with the regen thing is if you go into like a general sort of out-of-body sense and say, well, okay, maybe the intent is that we should roll fewer dice, then you end up in this position where it's like, well, if I'm rolling 3 5-up regen saves on a dude, that's a 1 in 20, is it 1 in 27? Yeah, it'll be 1 in 27 chance. So why bother rolling a dice? It's not likely to happen. But then we also, but at the same time, it could be, but little Timmy wants to use his regen rule. So he should roll a dice.
What you're doing is this tiny niche situation where a Chaos Lord with an Ogre Blade rocked into a skeleton champion. That's all it's for.
I mean, I've been looking at it more in the context of sending a Great Cannon through a rank of 10 Skeleton Warriors. Are we rolling the damage for every Skeleton Warrior? Yeah.
But it's not hit the Bone Dragon. No, your Bone Dragon isn't immune just because I rolled 9 wounds. No, shush.
Yeah.
So do your saves. So it's stuff like that. Cannons have always been an issue. But the thing is, with this game, they are clearly trying to make a departure from Warhammer Fantasy Battles and make their own ruling set and give them their own flavour in a very similar way to, I don't know if either of you were 5th edition players coming into 6th. They did the same thing then. No one knew what was going on when 6 came out. They were like, where's my cards? What do you mean there's no fly high? Like, no one knew what was going on. And it's the same thing now. It's teething. We have, for all intents
I don't think I'm that old. Fly high was, it's what I guess the 40k community is calling uppy downy at the minute. It was, you take a dude on a flying creature, take him off the board, at the end of your turn you put him down anywhere.
But there was also a separate board that you played off to one side that was everything that was currently flying high played on.
Oh, okay.
I
wasn't aware of that. That sounds...
It was Dragon goes up, Bloodthirster goes up, 2 fight, 1 comes down. It was
Did the
hilarious.
Bloodthirster's body, did it cause impact hits if it landed on someone when it died?
I can't remember. I imagine it
That'd be
should.
cool.
I did find out that you can do that, but yeah, that's what I mean. It's just teething at the moment, and there's so many people who go, "You can't play this competitively." You can.
Yeah,
proved it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of understanding what you're getting yourself into. And I mean, if anyone wants to go on my Reddit profile, they'll see that I posted something about a year ago, 18 months ago, going, "I am burnt out. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. It was my first time being a professional competitive gamer.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was doing. And I was getting wrapped into the cycle of things, trying to expect something out of a game that it wasn't there. I was trying to look for the perfect balance. And the perfect balance isn't there. And that's why I like it.
Yeah.
If every army was the same as everything, there would be no real need for teams, because it's just it becomes binary.
Yeah. Well, Ian, and this is the thing that I've struggled with a little bit, because I go online and I see the people, because the competitive scene always is the loudest scene, because they're the ones that are super engaged. The little narrative clubs, the 5 guys who turn up to their house and they play their little narrative game, and they just keep to themselves. They don't go and talk about it with other people because they've got their friends to talk about it with. And they're not going to go out and say, "Hey guys, I just did this cool narrative thing." They're going to go to their mates and say, "Shall we go down the pub for a beer? Do you remember that really cool moment when Tommy's Duke did this to my dragon area?" Right? So I see all the stuff where everyone's talking about Cathay is heinously broken. Then I head on over to Ian's house, and Ian brings his Cathay army out, and I destroy it with High Elves, using Spearmen and Swordmasters of Hoeth. And I'm like,
"Are you a god?
Where's the broken? Where's the break in the Cathay?" And I'm like,
"You're
sure.
busy at the end of September, mate. You're
I will just preface that was when I had a severely more limited Cathay roster than I do now.
Yeah,
sure.
But
Because
I mean,
we then did the game with Mao Ying for the first time, and
she's lovely.
You had the most accurate, what was it, Firestorm rocket battery in the world?
No,
but
it was it was I played the Goblin Artillery Corps with the Doom Diver, and
Doom Diver is the best artillery in the game.
And he had. Well, no, it's not, because here's the problem. He's got a block of peasants. Next to the peasants is Miao Ying. On the other side of the peasants was a really high value gate master, and then behind it was one of the new astromancers. So he had all these really high value things, and I was like, well, artillery scatters. And I'm saying if I go that way, I hit Miao Ying. If I go that way, I hit his gate master. And if I go backwards, I hit his thing. And I just rolled nothing but direct hits until the peasants were dead.
You can scatter with the Doom Diver in a direction of your choosing, right?
Doesn't matter when you roll one.
Yep.
So I had the most pinpoint accurate Doom Divers imaginable. And therefore I lost.
It was also the rock clobber as well. It was just those peasants were having the worst day. They somehow held out quite well, but they were having the worst day.
But it's all about list design. You guys, with that, it doesn't sound like you were bringing 4 to 5 Shigenguns. You weren't bringing 3 cannons. You weren't bringing 5 units of 12 archers.
I've only seen 1 Shigengun in person. Ever.
I've got 8 on a shelf over there. But that's the benefits of my job. So, I'm paid for a mini in like 6 years. It's phenomenal.
What do you need 8 for? I understand 3 and 3 for the generals and the lords.
I'm one of these horrific people who, as soon as I decide I'm going with a new theme, I do the army again.
Right.
So
okay.
I've got 6 variations on my Beastman army. Sort of like the same list.
I mean, I understand it. I mean, my high elves are very heavily deep dived into being from Safri. So, I've got the Wardens of Lilith regiment, which is meant to be the guardian for the Archmage General or whatever. So, I think if I did
see a model and get attached to it. Like I saw a pig shaman, I was like, pig army! So that's what I'm doing now.
That's cool. I've got some pepper squigs from a guy upstairs, from a guy on Cult's 3D print that are upstairs. They're going to be turned into some squig herds for my Orcs and Goblins collection, which is far too large at this point.
I'm getting into Conflict 47 at the moment, and I've picked up British Commonwealth, and so I'm doing the Burma campaign. But what if they never left Burma? So I've got the Mark 1 guys. They're on my desk right here. with pith helmets, and I've got corgis coming as well for use as the doggos. So yeah, I love a themed army.
To be fair, the dogs are very,
What's
very
that?
good.
What
Mark
are they?
ones.
Models come out of a printer.
Oh, do they?
They come out fully formed like this. You know, yeah. What's that?
That gets rid of my favourite part of the hobby.
Do you know what though? Bestiarum started doing sprues, which are one of the biggest like 3D manufacturers.
Interesting.
They are now releasing their 3D sculpts on sprues.
That's interesting. How does
We've gone
that,
full circle.
going completely away from you as vice captain of Team England and you as a professional model printer, how does that affect the speed of print, the effectiveness of print? Is it nicer when they give you it on a sprue? Does that print better, or have you not had the
They're doing
chance?
it for their tiny things. So let's say, you've got like skull sets and stuff like that. They'll do 1,000 skulls. Instead of just being pre-supported, it will be on a sprue, and the sprue's supported, because if anyone's printed tiny stuff, they go poof as soon as you put them into the washing machine. They disappear into the nether. And then you find them 2 weeks later when you pour your IPA out and they've just melted a bit. So the idea is to stop that. So it's not like a giant's going to come on a sprue. It's like spears will, stuff like that. And
Interesting.
I like that.
It's a massive waste of resin, but then is it a bigger waste of resin because you printed the same head 10 times because it keeps disappearing in the washing machine?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, to the industrious, sprues have forever had purpose in everything. I mean, I saw someone who said that the best thing to do with sprues is use them to clean the resin, the print bed for your printer.
Yeah. So we get little rafts that come off of them, and you just do that. I generate a horrendous amount of waste. It's why one of the things I'm looking to do this year. There's a running joke going. It's a very, very cruel running joke, but I want to do something about it.
Yeah.
Every time you print a model, you're killing a penguin. So because it is, let's be honest.
I've seen Wallace and Gromit. They're asking for it.
Well, but it's not a nice substance. It clearly isn't naturally made. So one of the things I want to do this year, once I've stabilized a little bit, is give back to a penguin charity. Because right the wrongs a little bit, But I want to say stabilize it because the world got flipped upside down in March, and I'm still recovering a little bit. So it wasn't got kicked off. I'm almost back. I'm close.
Good.
I'm nearly back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, go on, Ian.
I was just saying, going back to talk about lists and stuff. You talk about you've got that switch in your brain. Is there an army where you have a unit and it's good but not amazing, but because you love it so much, you find it hard to not have there in some way?
It's normally so it depends what army I'm playing. There's one army I refuse to play. A straight up refuse. I know it's the opposite of the question that you asked, but it's Vampire Count. It's just broken. It's just broken. And I love that army. For 6th edition, I've got 12,000 points of Vamps. I've got every bloodline. And they've never seen a table in the whole world because they don't have that for me. They don't have that fun thing. Like everything's see, you get it. And I mean, that is the start of the accursed times when they got real broke.
This is the first Warhammer book I ever purchased. My mother said I had to go and make friends, and in order to make friends I needed to have a hobby that wasn't wasting your life online playing World of Warcraft. So
you did it on the table.
So she took me to Access Models in Newark, which was the first third-party retailer ever to be allowed to to sell Warhammer.
Wow.
And she was like, look at all the Space Marines down here at the bottom. Look at them. They're fantastic. And I was like, want the zombies? Pointing at a box of Crypt Ghouls. So we got a box of Crypt Ghouls. We took them home. Discovered that they're all on sprues and they're unpainted and unassembled. So we rung up my dad, who in 2007 had just finished establishing an estate agents in Mansfield. There was nothing going to go wrong there. And we told him to go to a tiny little hobby store buried in the back of Mansfield, and he brought me home a pot of rotting flesh, the old Citadel screw top ones with the clicky caps, a pot of rotting flesh, pot of blood red, pot of skeleton, what's it called? Not white scar, it was called bone white, skull white
white back then.
A little paintbrush, I was using nail clippers to clip it off, and he got me a little pot of
I
Rebels
used scissors.
plastic glue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and my brother used like DIY pliers, the massive ones, when we got
Let's
the
be honest. Twist.
third ed 40K box when we first got that.
So yeah.
Yeah, I love still reading them. I've still got a stack of 6th and 5th edition books in the corner that every now and again one will migrate and find its way to the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it will just be reading that.
I love cracking this open and lamenting when
back when rule books were proper size. Look
Yeah.
at the thickness.
the broken spine. I've got this bookmarked, I think, on the miscast table, because I go and I read the miscast table and remind myself about when miscasts was dangerous as opposed to probably good for you.
I'm hoping that we make a return to some of the more devious stuff that we had back then. Like I want what's it called? Gaze of the Gods. Turn into a spawn should be on there.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
should. Going back to your question though, you're asking about
what were
I
we
ever
talking
stop
about?
myself taking one unit. If I'm having a conversation, I've got a regular play opponent, Matt, over in Derby, and we'll have a chat about what kind of game we're playing. And if we're like, okay, we're just going to do something dumb, real dumb, there is a single thing that I just think it's so silly this chariot build is, but I adore it. It's horrific, but it's also the kind of thing. It's a hero on a chariot. It's telegraphing very, very, very much what it's going to do, and you just step sideways and it can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But it's a Beastman Great Bray Shaman on a Razor Gore chariot with the cackling blade.
Yeah.
So he casts Mantle of Gorok, and this guy can generate 30 combat res by himself.
Yeah.
By himself. He can also, because he's got the cackling blade and Mantle of Gorok, do 2 wounds to himself every turn. Just hitting himself in the neck like this. So I love it, because it's like, am I going to kill me or am I going to kill your army? What's going to happen here? I love the dumb stuff like that, like Mangler Squigs as well.
Yeah.
Is this going to wreck through your army, or am I going to roll 3 1s for every movement phase?
Yeah, that's my experience of trying to run squig hoppers of any variety.
Yeah, I like the randomness, and I think if I'm deciding that I'm having a real dumb game with friends, I like taking all the stuff that I never normally take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I run the good stuff all the time. Let's run the crap stuff.
So I think we've broadly covered all of our large topics of discussion, really. The only area I've got left is, I think you've kind of alluded to it, that you have to switch on the competitive matrix. So you are probably natively a more casual narrative player. Is that fair to say?
If you'd have asked me a year ago, I'd agree with you wholeheartedly. I tried to go to an event 3 or 4 months ago now.
Yeah.
With a silly list to go and have a fun time, and I had a crap weekend.
What was your silly list?
It was just a bunch of Beastman chariots, just like that build that I told you, with that and another one like that, and a load of Tuskor chariots and a load of Razor Gore chariots.
Yeah.
And the idea behind it was, if I come into infantry-ish, even if it's knights, are you okay? This would be I'm not going to get pounded. 5 dragon armies back to back.
Yeah. Right.
And what's the quickest way to deal with a chariot? Fly over him. Just go over the top of his head. You can't do anything. So it was an awful weekend. I couldn't find the fun. So I think I'm more of a competitive gamer these days who enjoys narrative stuff still and can still find that.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I picked up Conflict is because I am finding it harder and harder as time goes on to be a narrative gamer in fantasy, because I have seen inside the hot dog. I have built the hot dog.
Right.
So I'm deliberately not going to go to Conflict events. I'm just going to play at a club and with my mates. I'm deliberately not in any Conflict discords or Reddit threads or anything like that, because I don't want to see the good build. If I stumble on it, cool, but I don't want to build towards it. I don't want to know how to get the most out of my Commonwealth army. I want to just pick the models that look fun and put them on the table.
Let's go ahead and step into the news now, I think. So, let's see what we got going up first. I mean, if we start with the Goliath, Warhammer 40,000 this morning has had its balance update. So there's new points for everything 1 month after the game began. And we're also There's been rules updates on a few things. I've seen people in the Dark Angels Reddit threads talking about that they've managed to make the lion. They've managed to break the lion, so you can't start him off the table because he doesn't have the ability to enter the table. Is I think what they were saying. Hooray! But the fact that they've said they're going to be doing monthly balance updates for the first 3 months of the edition.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to why I don't play competitive 40k.
I went through this quite a bit for my regular 40k gaming chums. So I've read most of the document, if not all, because I think I had a minor psychotic break this morning.
Well, we were all poring over it
the majority of this document is just making rules work in the new edition.
Yeah.
And making models work in the new edition.
For example, they kept the old release cycle.
Yeah. So it's like giving the Primarchs the mobile keyword so they can move through ruins. It's little things like that which makes the game actually playable. There are some interesting things hidden in there. There are some little stealth buffs and nerfs for things, which was actually quite cool to see.
Well, my Necrons list.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, my Necrons list went from being 10 points under to 10 points over because of it. So, and list deadline is in 30 minutes. So everybody in the tournament this Saturday has been panicking today with like, but you mean I've got to write my list from scratch today? So that's fun.
So we have stuff like that. If it's 2 weeks before the event, I don't care what you release. It doesn't matter because otherwise, how are you going to get your army ready?
This is just a casual one. We've not got a paint requirement. We've got a paint recommendation. But yeah, it's a local for fun thing.
I was going to say the most important change in all of them was on the Orcs, where they changed the name of the Crushing Impact strat to Crushing Impact with a K. It's good that they put that in the FAQ and made it really clear, like that was important.
Yeah. Why can't we have this level of detail in Old World? We still have italic text in the main book that is rules and not just fluff.
Yeah, it is, but it is really an interesting time for 11th. This has changed a lot in points wise. Like they've discounted transports a lot across the board. 10 points off basically every transport if you only bring 3, and then it's 10 points more if you bring up to 4 to 6, which is I like that kind of mechanic they're doing, where it's like if you take the first one are this points, the next ones are these points. Do I think it's going to change things hugely? Probably not. I think what's going to happen is the first codex is going to do that, which will be Orcs, which we're expecting in a couple of weeks. But we'll have to wait and see.
So, yeah, 40k, big updates. What else have we had? We've got Ogrin, not Ogrin, pardon, that's the wrong franchise. Ogres coming for Age of Sigmar, and I mean, they look. Some of them look really nice.
I was going to say, don't you mean the Old World?
We haven't got the base expansion pack yet.
This does give me hope that we're going to see them in the Old World, though, because that's a third of the range, the oldest parts of the range, the most fancy bits are gone. It's just the 8th edition stuff that's left, really.
This is the endless cope that we always have, isn't it? Every time something gets replaced in Age of Sigmar, we're sat there going, please, sir, give it down to us in the Old World. Please. We've been starving. The morsels, sire. Gift it to JTY.
Mastery Ogre unit that is rubbish. Please, sir. Please give me more Mastery Ogres that no one uses.
The thing is, I do think this is probably massive cope, but having built a lot of the new Skaven models and deliberately putting them on square bases, they fit suspiciously well, and they tessellate really nicely. So in my head, it's going, are they going to actually officially add Skaven to the Old World? That would be nice.
Well, I mean, we look at the Custodes with Warhammer 40k and 30k.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's clearly the rumor that they are trying to keep every studio completely isolated of one another possibly is coming undone.
Well, hopefully they've realised that it's the most financially illiterate decision you could make as a company.
Oh, massively, yeah.
Like, I run a miniatures company. I cross-brand everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything.
Because there's some really cool stuff in Horus Heresy that I want to use in 40k.
There's a new tidbit about Ruinstorm demons and how we're going to get like unmarked Chaos Undivided demons. Oh, I can't wait for that. That's
I'm
going to be so
very
cool.
excited.
You're not satisfied with Chaos Furies and nothing but Chaos Furies.
And a Soul Grinder, and maybe a Demon Prince.
Demon Prince, Chaos Furies for your core / battle line, Soul Grinder for your heavy support. What more do you want?
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Chaos Furies come in corn and nothing else. I don't know what you're talking about. Only corn.
Is that the good way to run them?
It's the only way to run them. The only way.
Fair enough.
Just going back to the ogres, it is a beautiful range. I do find it funny that the new Cauldron Mini is on the new dinner plate size round base that they've made, because that thing is just huge with not a lot on it. Like, it works for the Defiler. I question why he's on such a big base.
But all the pieces are coming wonky as well, so you're going to have that cauldron spilling all its contents out.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous, though. I really want that big rhino as a baggage train.
Yes, my favourite model is he's in bottom left of that picture with the like massive sword on his shoulder.
Oh,
When they revealed him, I was like, "What an amazing character model that would be in Old World."
You mean the Cathayan longsword?
Yes,
that's straight out of Bleach.
Yep, it's fucking great.
I mean, you can see it with this though. If we want to, let's get our tinfoil hats on and really put them on tight. Kitnik 2 Snatcher is straight up the model that they released for Orcs and Goblins in Age of Sigmar, like art to art. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's only been one Age of Sigmar release that's come out in the last 4 years that doesn't fit on square bases, and that's the Seraphon release. Every single other one ranks up.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
also,
I've seen the Seraphon release. I have seen the Seraphon release rank up on square bases. It's just there's an art to it.
I mean, everything else, it's just this very clearly is ranks. Whereas Seraphon, it's like, okay, let's get the hot glue out and bend that tail, and, you know.
Or just accept that all the Seraphon tails are tickling the man behind them between the legs.
Yeah. If you run in one rank, they are the line hammer.
A strategy which I will contend to the end of days was never actually a problem, was very easily dealt with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. It was never an issue.
Yeah. Well, we got the new launch box.
We did.
Yeah.
Where I built my first ever cafe models, and thus discovered that the cannon has a threaded screw on the underside that is you actually spin and it actually screws, and it determines the height of the cap.
Okay. Keep your enthusiasm there. Never touch the Terracotta Sentinel or Miao Ying. Don't go near it.
I really want to play with the Terracotta Sentinel because everyone tells me it's the worst model ever, and that makes me so excited to build it.
See, I disagree because I ignored the instructions when I built mine. I cut out all the pieces that it said for a chunk of it, and then worked out how they all went together. And I built it in a completely different order, but had a whale of a time building it. It's in the cabinet.
You're like Omen's Barbecue a little bit, where it's like good.
No, it came out really nice, but it was more. I cut out all the leg pieces and went, "Oh, this bit clearly goes here. This bit goes here."
But it goes together like in a manageable way. But then you look at it and you go, "Did the foot need to be 4 pieces?"
No, that's
you know
that I agree with.
I've paid 80 quid or 100 quid for this box. Did you need to save the 1/4 of an inch G-dub? Really?
Yeah.
You know.
And yeah, I can agree with
these models. Stunning. For those who don't know as well, the BSB can be on foot or mounted. It fits on both. It's really nice as well. And all the warriors are interchangeable between the knights and the on foot, or the weapons, sorry.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't scream upgrade sprue, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
No, it looks so nice.
I know you've already got one of these, Lander, and you split it with a friend, but we were talking about you potentially getting a second one of these. Me taking the Cathay side in the books, and you having some more Chaos Warriors, because if you split it with a friend and you get it from a third-party retailer, it's insanely good value.
Great value for it. The only issue is not many people need those cafe models now.
Yeah.
Not many.
Well, I said
them.
this to my friend. My friend who it's his first time getting into Old World. We've just got him in with this box. I said, I'll give you the cafe half for 55, 60 something quid.
Lovely.
And so he's bought into that. He went home same day and he's going online. He's on eBay and he's trying to buy the cafe half again so that he can take his 600 points, you know. And because you then put a magic item or two on something, you know, 2 600 points armies adds up to about 1,400. Yeah. And so really keen to see if we can get him doing some fun stuff. But he's colorblind, so it's going to be really interesting to see what his cafe army turns out looking like.
I love that.
It'll be really interesting. I mean, we'll have Ian's lovely terracotta guys, and we'll have whatever he turns out. And
I've not opened this box, but I've heard a horrific rumor about this, and if it's true, it's a sad day.
Tell me.
Apparently, whippy sticks aren't in this box.
Fill airtime.
He's coming back with a bundle now, isn't he?
This is what Lander was referring to with the
yeah. What is that?
It's not a whippy stick. Apparently, it's from 2012. I have no recollection of this in my childhood memory whatsoever.
Yeah. I've never seen it. Is it a 24-inch ruler?
What
is that about?
It's a 24-inch gauge, right? Obviously 3 parts and what have you.
I can't hit
like that.
Can't hit my friend with that and get away with it. That's going to cause actual damage.
Actually, I think this hurts less than a whippy stick.
That's what, but the whippy stick. It's the sad day. It finally happened.
At least it's a good game system with templates.
There we are.
That's always my line about.
100%. Like I don't play 40k stopped at 5th edition. I don't know why you continue counting to 11. It stopped at 5th.
Yeah,
That's all we play.
I suspect this probably isn't actually in actual real inch increments either. That would be my suspicion.
Oh, if it's anything like the bases, they're off by 5%, all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an exciting to see us Old World getting a proper launch box.
And
Filled with brand new models. Mid-Thurn edition, that is really cool.
Yeah.
It suggests to me that they might be going longer with Old World rather than doing the very quick editions that you see with everything else.
I don't think so, because Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game got this. What that tells us is, because Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game is the undisputed best Warhammer system, it was at the time, this is now clearly the best Warhammer system undisputed. Why else would we get a mid-edition?
The other big thing that really signifies longevity about this, did either of you play, well, I know you play 7th edition, and you showed me the book. Did you play 7th yourself?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Dog shit. And GW knew that. And they rushed out a new edition as fast as they could. 8th was what, like 2 years or something? It was a really quick one, wasn't it? They could have done that now and they chose not to.
No. And I think that is definitely a big sign. I'm going to get really nerdy here, but if you read the stock report from earlier this year from GW, they were surprised at how well Old World is selling. I think the number was 30% better than they expected, which is, you know, in the corporate world, normally a very good sign.
It's
which is
huge.
good. Yeah.
I've seen it as well myself. The one thing that interests me the most, though, about that, again, getting nerdy about it, they thought Cathay was going to be the big seller in China and entry into the Chinese market. It's elves and dwarves.
Yeah. My favourite thing from that document was them basically admitting to shareholders, no, we don't do FOMO, we just have no idea how much stock to make. Yeah. And to go to your shareholders and say that is hilarious.
We tried, but then Dominion happened, and then we don't know anymore. It's hilarious. Like, they don't do it on purpose. I'm kind of cool with that. But then, again, love these red herrings. My mate went to Old World launch day at Warhammer World.
Yeah.
Avid Bretonian player, and he was like,
I was there with Mountain Miniatures.
There you go. Yeah. So he was like, right, Elise Duchard is the best Bretonian model I've seen in decades. I must get this. He was 4th in the queue, and they'd sold out.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
and that was it. They weren't buying 10 each.
When I
Yeah,
arrived on the
it's-
day, I arrived at about lunchtime, so it had been going for quite a long while. By that point, the queue out the door had stopped. There was no more of a queue out the door. It seemed to me like they called in additional staff who were just there for fun on the day, because there were staff members in cosplay with lanyards around their necks, carrying
Oh,
big
wow.
boxes of stuff into the thing and then just handing them to customers, going back out the back and coming back with boxes.
Manic.
So
Absolutely manic.
then I was there a couple of weeks later for the Age of Sigmar one, and
Not
crickets.
the same.
No.
Not the same.
No.
I mean, let's be fair though. It was like a complete. It was. This is history made return. This is Total War Warhammer. This is the legend that the guy at your local game store will not shut up about.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So compare that with Age of Sigmar, which I think is very much second fiddle to 40k. You probably expect it
I
to.
do
be
hope the
quieter.
rumors about Sigmar aren't true, though. I do hope they aren't true. I don't know if you guys have heard.
I haven't heard about the
Battle
rumors.
World thing. You not heard about Battle World?
No.
They are apparently huge someone's assault on this, because it's just internet rumors, but
Yeah.
it's been corroborated across all of them.
Yeah.
Apparently, Age of Sigmar is having its whole realm gate system blown up. It's all going away. Sigmar is deciding to pull the ripcord and pull everybody back into one sphere. Apparently, as well, it's going to get rid of a lot of crossover characters between Fantasy and Sigmar, and
Right.
bring a lot of new ones out.
Okay. Well, I've got my contact on the GW web design team, and I've got another contact in the Age of Sigmar and Warhammer Fantasy Old World model design team. So I will go and have a chat.
I wouldn't say that live.
I'll go have a chat, and then I will retain my candor and not say anything about it, but subtly allude. Maybe not.
No, it's just I hope it doesn't happen, though, because the pain which fantasy players had to go through, I don't wish upon anyone else.
No, it was awful.
Though, let's be frank.
We're past this whole thing. You killed our game. Fuck off. They didn't. Age of Sigmar's a good game in its own right. We're not in competition with them.
No, it's a very different game.
Yeah, I played it extensively for 3 editions and came to the conclusion it was just continually moving in a direction that I liked less. And it was not my game. And then they said the old one was coming back, and I was just like, you know what? Those guys can have that. I'm gonna go back to my old stuff.
It doesn't need to be there anymore, and I think that's the important point. There was, for some reason, in our community, a lot of blame goes to Age of Sigmar players. They didn't do anything.
No, definitely. And I agree with exactly what you said, Lander. It's not my kind of fantasy. I like my rank and flank. I like my, this. I love Old World for all of it is, but there are some people who love that much more skirmishy, more fluid units and all that stuff, and power to them. It's like, as long as everyone's having fun, who cares?
As long as we're not playing 40k, it's all good.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm gonna be honest. I think if they're gonna go in a route with an end times Age of Sigmar, it could be less severe, because entities like Alariel and like Teclis are so far removed in a visual appearance from what they were in Fantasy. They could translate into just a new avatar of their own state. Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to call them Alariel. You could just call them like Avatar of Gairan,
And then you can apply all the copyright you want, Gido.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I still wouldn't. Hey, look, if they do it, at the very least, they probably aren't going to go along with the rule: if your knee touches the ground, etc., you lose the game. If you've got a bigger beard than your opponent, your dwarf thane gets rerolls. If you convince your opponent you roll 2d6 and get a 13 with a grey seer, you win the game. We don't. They're not going to get those silly rules. Or fingers crossed.
Well, do you know what? I think there's a place for stuff like that. Wouldn't you love if there was a silly system like that?
I absolutely did not.
No, what I mean is separate. So, do either of you play Magic the Gathering?
No.
I have in the past. I don't currently.
So there is a separate thing in that. Magic the Gathering, we all know it's a very, very sweaty game. It's got its own thing, and this isn't commenting on the system. there is a separate set of cards with silver borders called the unset, and they do bonkers shit. So one of them is, for example, throw this card on the table, anything it lands from is removed from play. Can't play it in the tournament, but it's bonkers fun in its own setting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I would play that in its own way. Like, I don't know, Mordheim with dumb rules. I'd play that. Low stakes.
100%.
You know.
I had a conversation with someone about Age of Sigmar's 0th edition, just while we were sort of floating around this topic. And I think the game designers went in with the assumption that the people who played the game had been playing Warhammer style things for so long, they could be innately game designers unto themselves and guesstimate out a balanced scenario that would be fun.
The D&D approach.
Yeah, you'll make it work. But I think that's probably where they went awry. But that's ancient history at this point. And you know what? I think Old World as a community is thriving as good as Warhammer Fantasy ever did.
Yeah.
You know,
more so.
Yeah. So
it's my favorite GW system.
Yeah, it's my favorite system. It's not the best system, I don't think. I think I'll maintain that Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game is better. But it's this. I never have an unfun game of Old World.
Something about square bases. Just something about looking at it.
Yeah. We need to
There's
bring square bases to
building
40k.
a unit. No, there's something about building a unit and writing the numbers on each one of their bases. That's where he goes. You know, something about.
There's something about having, you know, so many clan rats on the board and just moving them up in their squares. And it's like, yes, I've got all these models, but I have to move 3 things. It's wonderful.
Or conversely, here are my 3 Chaos Dragons. Like...
When
They're
I can
two
play
sides of the same coin.
When I can play 9 turns of Old World in the time it takes me to play 3 of 40k, and I've got 3 times as many models in my Old World game, it's just it just feels right, man.
It does.
Right. Fallout. Are we fans of the series?
Yeah. The video game in the show. Love it.
Yeah. I've not played the video game. I'm very much enjoying the Amazon show, but I feel like the Amazon show is made for people who are less severely into Fallout. Based on
both.
The people who I know who are really into Fallout seem to be hung up on all the small deviations and adaptations that the show has made to be a show. So I really enjoy it. It's been loads of fun. But speaking about Fallout, Modifius has released their roadmap for Q4 26 through to Q3 27. And if you, I think it was pre-order the new starter box that they've got, you will get a absolutely fantastic looking dog meat model. And my wife says this about all dog miniatures in war games. They're always either a bit badly made, or they are designed to be the most aggressive, gnarly looking wolf-like dogs imaginable. And Dogmeat just looks really happy. He's got his goofy little goggles. He's got his base with his dog bowls, and it's beautiful. And I think it's the kind of thing that she would really get behind. So, you know,
now
go on.
I was going to say, living up to my reputation on this channel of being into far too many different war games.
Yep.
This is one that I've been tempted to get into, and some friends, and seeing on this roadmap Cult of the Mothman has even more tempted me, because it hasn't come up on this show. It hasn't come up on this show, but I do. I love cryptids just because I find them goofy little guys. Mothman is probably my favourite. I have stickers of him on my computer as we speak, and just to be able to run the Cult of Mothman army, that sounds like a hobby project for me.
I kind of want to do Children of Atom, but go in cosplay.
Oh yeah, I love Children of Atom in the lore.
You know, this is awesome. I saw it'll probably have been the beta test for this at UKTC London, the OGT, about 2 years ago now, and it looks so cool. It looked like so much fun. They were using it as a refresher game for people because obviously this is like the top 40k major. And they were using it as, you've burnt out. Come play Fallout for a bit. And the other one they had was Worms, and they both look sick.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean, I would
it's
want to play Brotherhood of Steel, but with the YouTube channel, can I really not play Caesar's Legion?
Kaiser, it ain't
Sorry.
Caesar, it's
yeah,
Kaiser.
no, it's Kaiser.
Yes.
It's the thing is there's so much you can do, and it's a small model count game by all accounts, and you have your gang of dudes and you do your stuff, and yeah, it's again something that I'm very, very interested in. Again, seeing another option on there, you've got the railroad and the Minutemen. You
Yep.
could do some very fun hobby projects there. It'd be very funny
NCR
to
as
do.
well. You could use
Yeah,
any models for that.
it'd be very funny to do a red coat Minuteman army,
would.
because they've got the wrong, they've read the wrong book.
You
That
could
would be
just
hilarious.
use all the Warlord models for it, haven't they? Because they've done all
Yeah,
the red.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that would be so funny.
I'm really interested by what they mean when they say modular rules to let you represent New California, New Vegas, Capital Wasteland.
All
Like,
separate settings.
yeah,
It'll be setting rules. So like,
Yeah. So like New California and New Vegas are very much desert wastelands with massive creepy crawlies, like Appalachia's where they set
Yeah.
76, so it's a lot
Yes.
more homey.
Yeah.
Far Harbor is where dreams go to die and the cryptids come and eat you.
yeah,
Like,
right,
A
okay.
Nuka World, it's what if Fallout in a theme park?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's the most corporate theme park you could ever imagine as
And
well.
I'm pretty sure
So Disney
Nuka-Cola
World.
was drugs. I'm pretty sure Nuka-Cola was just drugs.
And it was part of military projects, just like everything in the Fallout
Yeah.
is. Yeah. There's
But imagine Mickey Mouse, the animatronic, is trying to shoot you with a submachine gun. That's Nuka World.
yeah.
Okay,
Nuka
so
World was
Disney
funny.
World mixed with Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, it's exciting. I always say this, and the reason why I'm into so many different tabletop games is probably I'm a bit loopy, but also it's just good to see competition in the space. These cool studios doing cool things, releasing cool stuff. It's good because I like walking into my local gaming store and seeing the health of the hobby being represented by people playing so many different games. And this is just another one I want to see on the tabletop, just so I can go over and bother my mate. It's like, oh, you're not playing Necromunda, you're playing this. How's it different? And like have those conversations.
You can use your Necromunda models to do this. No big deal. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It's at once the big happiness and big sadness that happened when 10th edition launched. When 10th edition launched, my local gaming store, its Warhammer Wednesday died. Before in 9th edition, every night it was fully packed, pure 40k games over and over and over. There was no space to breathe for anything but 40k. 10th edition came along. It was like that for the first couple of weeks, and everyone stopped playing. But because of that, when you did go along, if there were games you were seeing Horus Heresy, loads of the old world, absolutely loads of the old world. You'd see the occasional bit of Star Wars Legion or of the tiny bit of Conflict 47 bolt action. Yeah. Sorry, what was huge?
An X-Wing around here, absolutely massive.
Yeah, my local store, it's huge. Actually, my local store, Shatterpoint of all things, is absolutely
that got big as well. But I actually attribute the missteps of 10th edition, 40k, and third edition, Age of Sigmar. I attribute those missteps to the success of Old World, because we are in a time at the moment where nostalgia sells. We're seeing it in everything. Disney certainly knows this by churning out all those crap live-action remakes, and I think there was a lot of hesitation to, is the Old World going to be a Disney crap live-action remake? Maybe we don't touch it. Oh, what's that? My mainline game is a crap live-action remake. Let's just go check out the Old World, because this is rubbish, what we're doing right now. The amount of tournament players of a high level who I used to see on the other side of the room playing 40k or Sigmar, who are now on my side of the room.
Yeah.
I will say with 11th, a lot of them are drifting back over because apparently that's righted a lot of wrongs. I don't know personally.
Yeah.
Somewhat. I think it's got a long way to go, but I think it is going in the right trajectory. We need to see what the codex is.
Yeah, it's going to be made or broken by the codexes.
Yeah. And we'll have a video out next week
Awakening.
discussing that.
Psychic Awakening killed 40k for me, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
That was a point where I was like, nah, you can't release all of this and then just invalidate the game.
Yeah,
it could have been worse. It could have been Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
With the Cadia Stands FOMO box with the limited edition codex that was
when
viable
like 3 weeks later it was an edition reset. Yeah.
Wasn't far off that.
Yeah, it is. It is an interesting time for 40k at the moment. I'll say that. I've played enough of the new edition where I can see where they want to take it. Do I necessarily trust that they will? Is a different matter.
Yeah.
Did like Crusade? That was fun.
Yeah.
Crusade was fun.
Oh, the new deck.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going on another tangent, but the new deck they released for like the replacement of Crusade is brilliant.
Is it?
You're fighting over bits of land, which gives you buffs if you take it, and you get like cards, which are your rewards, and it's all
It's a
built
mini
around
campaign
teams.
system.
Yeah, it's all around teams,
And
but
it's
the
explicitly
reason why I
set
prefer
on
to
Armageddon,
Crusade-
isn't it? This current book.
Yeah,
box, yeah.
there's less paperwork. So it's just like, oh, you've won this many games, you get these things, and then you can apply them to any unit, and it just looks like it will play really nicely. I've not had the chance to do it with my group, but we are wanting to. And if this is the way GW wants to do narrative, yes, please. Like, narrative, if you want to make a formal system for narrative, it shouldn't be a lot of work to do. And I had so much fun doing Crusade because I like doing the nerdy tracking and writing my own stories and stuff. But one of the biggest barriers I had to mates joining were they were rubbish at keeping track of things. Their armies fell behind because of that.
Oh, the Mordheim problem.
Yeah.
So
the best video on this YouTube channel, which you can't even watch anymore because I've delisted it, was in COVID when 9th edition came out. And was it 9th edition that came out in COVID, or was it 8th? No, it was 9th edition that came out in COVID.
9th, yeah.
And I had 2 videos called "Going on Crusade," and it was a guide on how to run Crusade, and I hadn't quite worked out the joy of a script, and so I'm talking at the camera, and to avoid umming and erring, I'm speaking a little bit like. I was speaking like William Shatner. Actual comment I got on a video. It's like the content was really good, but pausing like William Shatner's taking me out of it. But those 2 videos were the best. They're the best things. They were the best videos that this YouTube channel has ever had, and we had a Google Doc that people could go onto and fill in there. It was basically a fillable sheet that you could copy. And it was just really good.
Battle March, my friend.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Battle March is crying out for someone to do that for them at the moment.
I've got the Battle March book here, and I'll tell you what, the first thing that I didn't realise is that the Battle March scenarios in the Battle March book are a narrative campaign for a specific event. They're not the actual missions that you necessarily should always be playing.
And that narrative event progresses the storyline in the main overarching story as well. There is a reason to buy that book if you're just into the lore.
Because we're in the news section as well, we didn't mention the new Battle March boxes they're releasing, which
5 at once.
And they look really fun. Like they're not for me. For my armies, I've got quite extensive collections. But definitely for someone new to the game, it's like, yeah, I could see you picking up these things.
Isn't the silence
I'll say
around
is
the Tomb King's one though?
Well, all I'll say is I think there's a couple of extras that we're going to get, because the print in this book here is exactly the Battle March box for Orcs. Well,
this is what I'm getting at.
The Empire one is exactly. Yeah.
They've not previewed a Tomb King's one. It's the only one they've kept totally quiet about. And that speaks a lot of volumes to me. I think we might be seeing a range refresh.
I mean, we could see it. I mean, Tomb Kings have got 2 heavy cavalry characters with no heavy cavalry.
And the chariots are ancient and the infantry are ancient.
Is there a Beastmen box? I don't think there is there?
Yes.
Yeah,
there is.
Wargore, Warhounds, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's cool. I say I'm probably not going to. I might get the Wood Elf one. Purely just because
the Wood Elf one coming with the named character is an interesting choice.
I'll cut off the bird.
You'll never
make
use that named character anyway.
I'll cut off the bird. I mean, his bird's rules are very funny. They never go off, but they're very funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just a better pigeon from the Empire, isn't it? It's
really. But I would turn, like, if I were to get that box, I would turn it into a Warden of Taliesin, the special one, and then run it with the Eternal Guard and things like that. And yeah, so they do have a place. They're really cool, and if that's what we get as our quote unquote like combat patrol boxes or whatever they want to call them, power to them, because they're the sort of boxes that someone will see and will go, yeah, I want to get into that game and take them off the shelves. Like
or
the
even
multiple.
Multi-boxes on some of them are worth it. If you want to get into an army, like the Cathay one, grab 2 of them and 2 shugs, you're away.
Yeah,
the Orcs one is fantastic.
The Orc one, I love the look of that one. I actually really like the Empire one. Just visually to look at, it's like, oh, that's really cool. I get all these, unique things. It's
still a steam tank in it, because they keep putting that damn steam tank in all the Empire boxes.
No, there's no steam tank.
Well, this would give you, it's 20 state troops, 10 flagellants, 10 state missile troops, 10 Empire archers, and 5 outriders.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
And 1 commander of the Empire with a great weapon. So if you want to have like infantry heavy Empire, that's an amazing start, really. You get a bit of everything.
Battle March is a very different game as well. So what works at 2K doesn't work at Battle March, and Battle March has got a totally different meta, as it were.
I think chariots are going to be really good in Battle March.
Chariots are very, very good. You're not going to see many dragons, if any. You might see some flying monsters. I think you can just squeeze a high off one, baby high off one, and just.
And then you're not going to get anything else. Bit of a problem.
Yeah. So you're going to see things that you would never see before, like chimeras. They become an actual problem at this points level.
That's
chimera. Why I love it. It's really cool. No, but it's great. At 2K, rubbish.
He's got an extra
600 points. Yeah, no, but at 600 points, he's very, very efficient.
I still feel really bad about your chimera.
Yeah, you should.
Lander.
Yeah.
I am really sorry about that.
He stood and shot with like 5 to 6 Skaven's slingers with the poison. What are they called? The gutter runners?
No. They had throwing weapons. They were gutter runners with poison. This was old poison, and I've never rolled more 6s in my life. And then you just rolled nothing in saves.
Mate, I killed a Chaos Dragon yesterday with a Ruby Ring of Ruin. Don't feel bad. Oh, he hated that. He was fuming.
I played against the Chaos Dragon once in my life, and it charged my Hellblaster volley gun. My Hellblaster volley gun fled. He failed his leadership check to redirect, ran into the space where my Hellblaster volley gun used to be, and then my Empire Grandmaster with a monster slaying sword ran up and killed him in a single hit.
You actually got the monster slaying sword to work, you hero.
I run it with monster slaying sword and the sword of might on a Grandmaster. So when I'm fighting a big thing, monster slayer sword comes out. When I'm fighting little things, the sword of might comes out.
Unfortunately, that's wildly illegal.
But it's an extremely common magic item, is the sword of might. So you can take.
You can only take 1 magic weapon.
Can only take 1 magic weapon. Where's that listed?
In the rulebook.
You'll have to cite me that page in a minute.
Yeah, you get 1. You can take 1. You can take a ranged one and a melee one. You can take 1 magic weapon. Because otherwise, you have people going around dual wielding fucking magic weapons. It gets real dangerous. Sadly.
Well, the only way I could make it work was doing that. And it didn't really work. It just worked in that one fluke. I might continue to do it anyway.
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry. I shat on your parade there.
There we go. So.
Right then.
That's a great place to end.
There's one more thing we need to talk about. Yeah. Given that last time with Alessio, we were confirmed that the next edition of Mordheim is going to centre around Skavendom. What are we all hoping to see?
Well, I've had it confirmed that it's all on 75mm bases, ovals.
Oh, okay, yeah. And it's got facings right still as well, hasn't it, with the 75mm ovals?
Yeah, but it's north and south, so it's whether you're above or below, because it's Skaven, obviously.
Yeah, it's got all verticality, yeah. So, I mean, I'm really excited to hear about that.
In all honesty, I hope it never comes back. It was a perfect game. It does not need the 2026 corporate edge on it. It's great, and it has a budding community. It's a massive event every year.
Yeah.
You can't get tickets to that event. It's that big.
Well, I'm currently talking with... I'm currently talking about trying to get a city board built for, or the terrain for a city board done for Old World, so that we can do some city fight battle reports.
Yeah, those rules straightforward by the way from 6. City fight rules. You don't have to do anything.
But the big thing is the buildings that we've found, is absolutely legend of a guy on Cult's 3D print. He's got a full range of free sort of traditional Tudor stroke medieval French style half timber houses with fully textured interiors as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So James, that does all our stuff on the channel with Setra, he's currently plugging some of them into his 3D printer, and he's like, okay, yeah, we're doing this first cottage. This cottage is the smallest one. Its print time is estimated 2 days.
What's it printing it on?
I don't know.
Wind up.
I'll find out, but it's only a small print bed. So he's probably doing the one layer, then take it on
Oh,
and
is
do
it
the
an
next
FDM
one.
one?
Yeah,
it's one of the
FDM.
plastic ones.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes total sense. I was thinking 2 days on resin. Jesus Christ, that's a detailed print.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty detailed. I mean, he sent me a photograph, and I can't see layer lines on the cobblestone bottom that it's got. Which, I mean, we're printing one, and then we'll decide whether we commit to a full table worth of terrain for that, for our Orc Slayer Errantry campaign that's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Well, I think just along those lines, this cheeky plug, I'm not affiliated with them, but Castle Hammer, you guys should go check them out, and you viewers should go check them out, because it is a Warhammer event in a castle that is going to be a castle-themed event.
Okay.
It looks sick. It's not for the faint-hearted price-wise. It is dear because you are staying in a castle, and it's a banquet. Like, but it looks incredible. Castle Hammer, go check it out. It looks really cool.
I'll get in touch and I'll say that if I film it, I'm going to do one.
Well, he is a YouTuber already. That's the only problem.
Yes, but he doesn't have access to my overwhelming viewership of 50 regular viewers.
Your charisma, sir.
I do love hyper thematic games like that. I remember we were doing a old world narrative campaign where we did a siege, and you had all the forces of destruction going on to all the forces of order. Well, good. And it was so fun and just bizarre. Like, there was an abandoned wizard tower that my Gracie just got up and was just shooting spells out of all game. It was.
That's why we played this, man.
The real one was the marching column. Yeah, the real one was the marching column of Chaos Chosen of Tzeentch, with the Tzeentch sorcerer doing Steed of Darkness and discovering that even though you can marching column 36 inches when you're on a 6x8 table, that still takes a little bit of a while to get from where you need to go around the board to invade the castle.
A little bit.
That was great.
Well, as I say, I think, as some people were saying, we've gone over. We normally try and go for 90 minutes. Here we're clocking on to just about 110 minutes. So thank you very much. And, for once, I'm not going to plug our sponsor, UK Resin Print. I'll let UK Resin Print plug himself. Go on.
Yeah, please do. So ukresinprint.com, specialise in fantasy miniatures. I'm branching out into World War Weird type stuff, so things you can use in the games of Conflict 47, Turnip, if you want to put vegetable heads on them, all that kind of stuff. And if you need to have a bit of trust to go by, I'm the main sponsor for Team England. I'm sponsor these guys. They wouldn't accept anything rubbish on their channel. So yeah, if you go to any event in the country, there's a decently strong chance that my miniatures are on the tables somewhere. So yeah, check it out.
Well then, thank you ever so much, Tom, for joining us today, and thank you, Ian, for being my co-host once again. And thank you to all of you at home for sitting through this, no doubt, dull diatribe that we've engaged in. I've had a wonderful time regardless. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
As always.
And we'll see you all in the next one.